Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie, and it's a 10-year blind.
Well, we finally got our hands on Jack Daniel's aged 10 years. We got to try this on a 5-Sip Friday.
Delicious.
And, yeah, it was great. Julie actually nailed it. You knew exactly what this one was.
Well, I didn't. I knew that it was Jack Daniel's, or I guessed that it was Jack Daniel's, but you got the 10 years.
Yeah, so a little bit of sleuthing. Good job, us. But let's get right to what we're drinking, the cost, and the proofs. Up first, it is Trail's End, and we thought, why not finally include an Oregon whiskey in one of these tastings? And so that's it. Hood River Distillers. It's our Oregon Bourbon of the Year for 2021. We love this stuff. Costs us $60. It is 105 proof, so the highest proof of the bunch. Henry McKenna is up next. $60 offering, just like Trail's End. 100 proof, bottled in bond, 10 years aged. We actually bought this bottle a long time ago for $35. It sells for $60 here now. It's taking us a long time to get through it because for that kind of money, I don't know if I'll buy another one. Next up, Michter's. The most expensive bottle here, that is a 94.4 proof product. It's $121, the most expensive one, obviously. Lastly, our Tennessee whiskey. This is Jack Daniel's, aged 10 years. We got this bottle for $70. The proof on this Jack Daniel's is 97. Let's get right to this blind tasting. I poured them, Julie mixed them around. We are going to go through from right to left, left to right, A/B test, and we'll share our tasting notes along the way. We'll say which ones we like best at the end.
And I'm actually learning what's in these glasses the same time you guys are. So when you were explaining what was going to be in it, I'm getting very excited.
This is just about the blindest flight ever for Julie, as usual, actually. And let's get to the nose. Glass number one. Here we go.
Just a hint of ethanol in this.
There's caramel here. Mm-hmm. Some usual suspects, vanilla, light brown sugar.
It smells a little creamy.
That has a complexity to it. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that one's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But not overly, like not candy sweet. Just has a nice sweet nose.
Nice.
Yeah.
Glass two.
Oh, I like this one.
Oh, this one's straightforward. It gets right to the point. There's no beating around the bush with the ethanol here.
Nope.
Dry oak and bubblegum.
It's very oaky.
I'm not even going to keep sniffing it.
And I'm almost going to go like a sweet, darker cherry note.
Interesting. I'm going to sniff it one more time. I said I wasn't going to, but...
I know, but I like your bubble gum there.
Dry oak and bubblegum. That smells delightful.
Yeah.
Glass three.
This one smells bready. Banana bread, sugar, brown sugar sludge.
It's like it reminds me of cinnamon sugar toast.
Yeah.
And like brown sugar toasted oak.
Yep. It's like...
Ooh, there's a sweetness there. There's a darkness there. I like that.
I like that one too.
That should be interesting. Glass four. There's a little less here.
Yeah, it's pretty subdued.
There's a fruitiness here I don't really get on the others. A really, like you said, subdued, like the peaches and pears and those little cherries, those fruit cocktail cups. Well,
still nice though.
Still nice.
This is gonna be so delicious.
I can't wait. Glass number one.
Yep. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone. Wow. Whoa, it morphed a bit.
She's got a spiciness.
Yeah, but the cherry was like forefront, like almost like a sour, like a candy cherry.
I was like a Jolly Rancher.
Yeah,
artificial.
Like that. Yeah.
Ooh, it coats beautifully though. Mm-hmm. The cherry, the spice. Is that cinnamon or is it like a red hot, like a candy? There's a cookie doughness too.
Yeah.
A little raisin there too. How about glass number two?
Let's do it. That really took me by surprise. It was a lot hotter sip than I was anticipating. It made my eyes a little bit watery, and then I got just nuttiness on the palate.
There's a journey there because it goes from very sweet to a touch bitter at the end. You would expect that at 10 years age, there would be some bitterness in here, but the bubblegum shows up here that we found on the nose. The oak shows up, that dry oak shows up on the finish. And there's a spice that sort of builds and lingers along with some brown sugar at the end, some light brown sugar.
It's almost like peanut butter.
You're right, there is a nuttiness.
This one almost has like a creamy peanut butterness to it.
Butterness.
Is that what I said? Peanut butterness?
It's almost like peanut butter and jelly. There's a little like grape jelly. There's something to like there, that's for sure. It'll be interesting to go back the other direction to see how these play off each other.
All right, glass number three.
Reaching for glass three, here we go.
Oh, this nose, I like this one.
Yeah. I need to set this glass down for a while and just think about it.
Brown sugar and oak and dark, almost like a charred oak, maybe?
I think charred, toasted, leathery. It's making my mouth water like crazy.
They're deep flavors. There's nothing real sweet about this one.
Yeah, this is like bourbon deluxe.
Yeah, and even on the nose, like I had originally said that it was like banana bready with sugar, which sounds really sweet, but you know, like the dough of banana bread, it's not actually like sweet smelling, and that's kind of the same thing.
Well, sometimes I get nervous when I smell a lot of cinnamon on my whiskey, and this smelled like a cinnamon sugar toast. The cinnamon wasn't super strong, but a lot of times when you get to the palate of it, the cinnamon takes over. Not happening here at all. The balance here is fantastic.
You said cinnamon and maybe throw in a little nutmeg and allspice or something. It feels balanced to me.
Yeah, and whatever that proof point is suits it, because there's a little heat, a little hug, a nice intensity, but it's also laid back. Like you could sit and just enjoy this one.
This one throws me off a bit because I like that, and it's not my usual sweet bourbon flavors.
Yeah, it really reminds me of like a Remus Repeal 5, which you don't usually go for, but there's some darkness here that this reminds me of. Ooh. Start writing some tasting notes. This is gonna take a while.
I think there is some good nutmeg in there. It's my Baker's Delight. That's what we call it. Ooh, Baker's Delight.
Oh, how nice is that?
Right, on glass 4. Like a thin caramel.
Thin caramel.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it. It's spicy, it's sweet, there's oak here.
The finish is nice and oaky.
There's not just oak here, there's pine wood. Did anybody else build those pine wood derby cars when you were a kid? You sand it and make it all aerodynamic, which it never was.
My brother did, and I was always annoyed that girls weren't allowed. I'm glad that kind of stuff's going away, because I always thought it would be so fun to build a little derby car and race it.
There's a pine wood sawdust here.
There is almost like a hint of, I was gonna say a hint of tree, but there is like a hint of like some sort of pine going on, or treeness.
I also think that there's a little more bitterness on this one, which is reminiscent of that sort of like sawdust that's happening there. I was expecting a little bit of fruit from that fruit cocktail on the nose. I don't know if I'm really getting it.
It's a pleasant sip. I really like it. I'm excited to go the other way because I have some thoughts on these glasses. I like them all. Yeah. But they're so different.
Let's get to glass 4 again.
Okay. You don't get any like real punch of this with a follow-up of that and a left of that.
I will also say that the finish of this one, that point you made about the flavors being a little bit muddled on the palate, that's the finish for me too. Yeah. It's some spearmint maybe and some pine wood, and I'm not a big spearmint fan. Oh, the pine is interesting enough.
Yeah, there is good spearmint on the finish. This one's going to be interesting because it could get saved by the experience. There's one glass in particular that I'm thinking about where I'm just like, I don't know if I like that one. There is one bottle that we are featuring today that I keep wanting to throw in blinds because I just can't get behind it. And everybody loves it so much. And so I'm always curious and it never does well for me. Glass number 3.
Here we go.
The nose.
Oh, this is...
My goodness, I like this one.
Tremendous.
There's some good bourbon flavors that come through on that sip. I know we always talk about like the familiar bourbon flavors, but there was something about that which just like encompassed what bourbon should taste like to me. And that's what that glass does.
It's a prime sip.
It is a prime sip. I'm giving this one high praise.
I wrote baller.
I like that. I am gonna try to see if I can figure out which is which.
You're gonna guess this time.
Maybe.
Sometimes we do. A lot of times we don't.
I have an idea about this one, but that's basically only because I want it to be this one. Usually I pick because I want it to be something.
Yeah, there's a couple flavor notes that are starting to give themselves away for me. I don't know these bottles that well in order to identify them. Certainly not the Jack Daniels.
Just opened it today.
Literally brand name. What do you say, glass 2?
Let's do it. Wow, I really like this nose now. There's some dill on the nose.
It's a sugar bomb.
Sugar bomb.
Wow.
I thought I was gonna be able to quickly eliminate something on the way back, but they're showing up.
Yeah, boy, it reminds me, sometimes you get a beer with a real sweet brown sugar maltiness to it. There's some of that like sweet goodness on the palate here.
I like being surprised. I like picking something and then just being shocked and don't understand what happened.
There's a super sweet artificial banana on the finish here too.
This job is hard.
Seriously, what we put ourselves through for you guys. One last note on glass number 2. It smells and tastes like a 10-year aged whiskey. That is a well-aged whiskey and there's no doubt about it. Glass 1.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Still cherry and oaky. The flavors actually, to me, taste the same as they did on the first go.
Yeah.
I'm not picking up anything new. Ooh, but the finish is nice on this one.
Yeah.
I like the finish on this.
Yeah, that artificial, did we call it cherry? Just keeps building on the finish here.
Do you know what these are? I could have guessed on the way out, and now I'm like, I don't know.
I think I know, I was going to say I think I know what glasses 2 and 3 are. But with that last sip, I got something on glass 1 that's very reminiscent of other products I've had from that brand line. So I think I know what glass 1, 2, and 3 are, and then by rights, I have to know what glass 4 is.
Right. I was gonna do something that's totally not following the rules, but
Mix them?
no, I should. But I was gonna say, like, I kind of eliminated based on how I liked the sip, and I figured the sip that I liked the least on the way out would be the bottle that I know to like the least
Right.
in the lineup. But now I liked them all.
Well, how about that? That's great. All right, well, we are going to A/B test. We won't do any filming on that, or this would be a really long video, and afterwards we will be back with our orders.
Unless we say something funny. So this is going to be kind of fun because some glasses give off a lot more flavor notes, but some glasses, the experience outshines the need to have all of that differentiation in the flavors. I think I'm ready. This was a tough one. I had a front runner almost the entire tasting.
I'm with you. I had a front runner from the beginning, and then the other 3, they kind of got in line pretty quickly for me. So I've just been sitting here drinking while she's been working.
I know.
And now it's time to tell you what order we're going to put these in. We'll try and guess what these are this time, because this could be a fun experiment.
I think I just put guesses down for what I wanted them to be.
All right, so Hope Springs Eternal here at the Bourbon Van, as always. What is your 4th place?
I put glass number 4 in 4th.
I did as well.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, for me, it came down to totally personal palate preference, because it is a very nice sip, totally satisfying. The pine wood brings something very interesting to it.
Yeah.
But when I was a little kid, I remember riding around in my mom's grocery getter, and she chewed spearmint gum all the time.
Oh,
and
right.
I used to get headaches from it. And I didn't like it. I'm a weird guy. Regardless, that's what this glass had on the finish. And for that reason alone, I had to take it out of the running. So I am sorry, glass 4. It's just a stupid thing, and I'm weird, and what can you do?
B.
B.
Oh, wait, so what did you think it was?
I think it's the McKenna, because I think I've experienced that pine wood on that bottle before.
Really?
Yeah.
And I was thinking Trails End only because it had a piney note to it.
Really?
Yes, interesting.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 0 for 1 already.
B is the Henry McKenna. How about that?
Wow. You know, so Henry McKenna is the one that always fares very not great for me.
Yeah, that is the bottle
And
we were
I
talking
thought
about.
that it was gonna at least get into 3rd this time. So I guess not. I'm actually shocked. I did not expect that to be the McKenna.
What is your 3rd place?
3rd place, I put glass number 2.
I have to check what I wrote down. Also glass number 2.
Oh my goodness.
Are we turning into the same person?
Wait a second, because we've just done 2 flights in a row where we had perfectly aligned scores.
This is getting a little ridiculous.
Right. D.
D. What made you put D in 3rd place?
My other glasses that are left, just I liked them from the get-go and all the way through the tasting. And that one I was a little wishy-washy about, so that's why I put it in 3rd.
Fair enough. I said that this one was straight ahead, that it was great. It just wasn't as satisfying as the 1st place and 2nd place glasses.
Right. What did you think it was? Because I thought this was the McKenna.
With the bubblegum and oak, it had to be the Jack Daniels.
Oh my goodness. I'm just off today.
You're doing great. We said glass D, that is the Jack Daniels 10 years old. So the 2 on the table are off the table.
Ah, crap.
I actually think that there's a lot to like in that glass. The flavors are easy. They're right in front of you. You don't have to look for them.
Right.
They show up immediately, and for that reason alone, I think that I would, since it's our first time showing this bottle off on the channel, I think it's a recommend. I think that it's a bottle that we would recommend.
I also want to point that I am for sure going 0 for 3.
Oh boy.
I'm hoping I at least got my number 1 right.
What have you got in second place?
In second place, I put glass number 1.
Come on.
Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, because we were like so excited on glass number 3 this whole time. I was in on glass number 3. From the deep flavors, the finish I think is the best of the bunch. For me, that sip screamed bourbon. I want 100 bottles of whatever's in glass number 3.
So what do you want to do? You want to say what our winner is or what our second place is?
Yeah, let's go for glass number 3.
Glass number 3. Letter A.
Letter A.
What do you think it is?
I thought it was the Michters.
I think it's the Trail's End.
Oh my God.
Toasted Oak.
Come on.
It's the Trail's End. So,
no way.
our order today
I'm
is...
an 0 for 4. I give up. I'm out. Guys, this is the end of the show.
Keep trying. We're all about positivity here at the Bourbon Van. So first place, Trail's End for both of us. That's crazy. The Trail's End, 10.
I just want to point out that we have been talking about Trail's End 10 for a while and how much we love it.
Yeah.
But I haven't had it in a couple months. And I am like legitimately stunned right now.
The Michter's 10 year finishes in second place for us. The Jack Daniels finished in third place for us, and the Henry McKenna finishes in fourth. I don't know what else there is to say here other than that Trail's End 10. If
I
you
wish we
can
would
get
have picked up a couple more bottles of that.
It's still around. Hey, let's go to the distillery right now, Hood River. We're on our way.
Oh my gosh.
First place kind of won by a lot for us because it just hit our palates perfectly. Yeah. Second, third, and fourth, actually really close. So
this was fun.
This was fun.
And surprising.
Well, let us know, have you tried the Jack Daniels 10 year? Have you tried any of these? What would your order be? And from wherever we are.
To wherever you are.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm literally shocked.